Hi Run Society, I'm Tanya Poppett, fitness trainer from Australia. Yes, it's my first time ever coming to Singapore, so it's really nice to see the beautiful city with all the greenery. It's such a nice vibe, nice atmosphere. It's a very sweaty location to exercise, but you definitely work up a good sweat nice and easily here. Definitely adds 10 degrees of difficulty. I started probably doing regular exercise when I was quite young. When I was a teenager, I did a lot of running and I ran competitively. So I was definitely always into exercise and moving my body. And then as I became older, I found that the repetitive movement of running and it took a toll on my body. So I found different ways to move my body that weren't so repetitive, that would complement my running training. So that's where I came into my HIIT style training and my strength-based training that I do now. When I used to run a lot, I'd run anything between just like your average 4 to 5 kilometre run, or then I'd go for some longer runs. Usually on my Sunday run, I'd go for anything between 8 and 16 kilometres. So I had quite a varied training regime. Like I did some interval running, some tempo running, and some longer slow runs as well. A lot of runners have repetitive use injuries, and it usually comes from muscular and strength imbalances. So a lot of the repetitive movements that we do, we're not strengthening the right muscles that go with that. So weak glutes can often lead to lower back pain or even knee pain, or some even like weak calf muscles. So it's learning to strengthen the base and complement your running with some strength exercises and mobility and flexibility to complement your running. So you're not just doing the same thing. So all the best runners do strength exercises and learn how to strengthen their body so they can get the most out of their runs. So HIIT was, I was open to that as part of my certification when I was doing my fitness studies. I also got into working for a particular company in Australia that specialises in functional HIIT training. So I learnt a lot from working with that company and learning different ways to incorporate HIIT into your regime and different styles of HIIT training. So that's where my passion for HIIT really grew. And as a busy person, I always wanted my exercises to be quick and efficient rather than slogging it out for hours and putting that extra toll on my body. That's why I find HIIT to be very effective and efficient, which is a good thing. I am honoured to be part of this. I feel like it's a great thing for not only Singapore, not only for ASICS, but for women, and to be able to help empower women to get more active and use their bodies and learn different ways of training their bodies. I'm stoked to be a part of it and really excited. First of all, all of our exercises are going to be body weight. So I feel like that's important in itself, is to be able to teach women that we don't need to go to a gym, or teach everyone that we don't need to go to a gym, and that you can have this bank of exercises that you can do anytime, anywhere. So I think that's important to have that as our underlying feature behind the whole weekend. Is a great way to empower people to just use movement, just use their bodies for movement. Our first workout and exercises are going to be more of a HIIT cardio focus with a TABATA session, which is always lots of fun. It's usually a good little interval of 20 seconds on with a 10 seconds rest. Doesn't sound like much, but it gets to you after a while. Those short, intense bursts are a really effective way to work up a sweat. We're also going to be doing some strength-based HIIT workouts, which is we'll turn the pace down a bit and work more on our muscles and engaging those muscles, doing some EMOMs, which is every minute on the minute, some AMRAPs, so as many rounds as possible, just trying to break up the traditional workout structure and expose the participants to different ways of working out, so it's not just the same old HIIT. The next day we're going to do some running focus, which will be great. We're going to be running along the river, which will be beautiful, and moving on to some different styles of running training that we'll like to incorporate into their daily regime. And after that, we'll probably move on to another strength-based HIIT workout, get those muscles burning again, and just, yeah, get people to focus on building that strength rather than just always feeling that they need to be doing cardio all the time, building up a base strength to complement their cardio exercises. Males and females don't really need to have a different style of training. It's more towards the individual, what the individual prefers. So I'm very passionate about moving your body in the way that you love, that's going to inspire you. So whether you're male or female, doesn't really matter. It just has to go in line with what are your goals, how do you like to move your body, and what's going to keep you motivated. That sounds like the perfect way to utilize HIIT in your program. So HIIT is high intensity interval training. So it's all about doing short bursts of exercise, nice and intense, putting your 100% effort in, followed by a short period of rest, and then repeating that over and over again. You can get an amazing workout in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and all you need is your own body weight, and we'll be doing plenty of that kind of exercise this weekend at the training escapade. It always depends on, usually it depends on the individual if I'm training someone on a personal one-to-one level, but I always try and make sure I have modifications for exercise. So not everyone's going to be at the same level ever. So you always need to have modifications there for some people so that everyone can participate, everyone is comfortable, and everyone is safe. Another thing I always try to think about is if I'm working on a program or a particular type of exercise or workout, is what is my focus? What's the focus of the workout? So is it a certain body part I'm trying to get to? Is it a certain type of fitness? Am I working on strength? Am I working on cardio? All play a big role in the program building routine. The main difference is that TABATA is a type of HIIT. So TABATA is describes the time schedule of a HIIT. So the TABATA workout will follow a 20-second period of active activity and a 10-second period of rest, and that doesn't change, but you can change the amount of rounds that you do. So you might do push-ups for 20 seconds and then rest for 10 seconds, then repeat push-ups for 20 seconds and rest for 10 seconds. So it follows that pattern. HIIT just describes the workout term of high intensity interval training. So you can choose whatever interval that you want to work. You might work for 50 seconds with a 10 seconds rest. You might even change to a 40-second period with a 40-second rest. It doesn't have to be a shorter period of rest. So that's the main difference, is that TABATA is a type of high intensity interval training. I don't think there is a real difference. It's all up to the individual. What's the individual's goals? And what type of fitness are they looking to get into? So there's no real difference. And I don't know, I suppose the whole main idea about exercise is just empowering the individual. So it doesn't matter what race or what part of the world they come from. Our goals are all the same, and yeah. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. Train all types of levels. So it's up to you as a trainer to identify the level of fitness, identify how hard you can push someone without making them break. But yeah, I've definitely been exposed to, there's always different types of fitness though. So some people, I've trained a lot of people that are definitely stronger than me. Some people have more of a cardiovascular base. So you definitely get a variety of different athletes or different people wanting to train. So yeah, it's amazing to see what people are good at and what they're not so good at. I suppose the main thing is to just ease into it, so not go out too hard or too fast. We want to prevent injury, we want to prevent them burning out and losing that focus, losing that motivation. It's all about kind of making them feel good while they're exercising. So if you're going to just smash them with a really hard session and just deplete them, they might not come back. So it's all about keeping it fun, keeping their energy up, and just without taking it too easy on them, just letting them find out how they like to move their body and getting them passionate about it. I get very sweaty, so I need something that's lightweight, something that can breathe. It's depending on the weather. So in Singapore, my preferred training attire would probably be a nice lightweight singlet and some shorts, or a crop top and some shorts. And yeah, though for running, I love some nice skin tight pair of leggings, just because I find them the most comfortable to run in. And definitely in colder locations, Australian winters, I like my jacket lightweight jacket over the top. That helps me get out the door. If I'm not freezing before my run, it's always a good way to get out the door and get yourself warmed up before you can strip that off. I really like to train bodyweight because you can do it anywhere. But if I'm in a gym, probably the thing I'm most likely to go pick up would be a kettlebell, because I find them so versatile. You can do a whole different range of exercises with them, and they're a lot of fun to throw around. But at home, I can use anything from a chair, a cushion, a towel, and I also like just experimenting with my workout. So I'll pick up anything if it helps me get me creative and get me moving.